Well, if you like the Elite i20 but want something with a little more personality and a lot more style, then Hyundai has the answer for you in this, the Active i20. In terms of the styling, it seems Hyundai sent out the i20 to the gym, and the results are really very good. The front end now gets an all-new headlamp cluster which gets LEDs in them. There's also a scruff plate up ahead, and you also get plastic cladding all across the body. The roof rails on top, along with the increased ride height, really give this car plenty of road presence. In fact, with all these changes, the i20 Active is clearly the best looking car in this segment. Well, being a compact crossover, that's how Hyundai is going to sell this car. It needs to be decent in boot capacity, and let's find out how big the boot on this car really is. Well, Hyundai haven't really played around with the boot area, and it's exactly the same amount as in the regular version of the car, so you get the same 285 liters of space. And the good thing is that it's a pretty wide opening, and it's a pretty wide boot also, and that means if you are an outdoor kind of person, if you love traveling and camping, or love to go out and play golf in, then this boot will take those camping bags or that big golf bag very easily without any fuss. And there's a bit of a loading lip, but it should not really be too much of an issue. On the plus side, there's very minimal suspension intrusion as well, so full marks to Hyundai for giving the Active i20 a generous and well-shaped boot. Well, so here I am now inside the Active i20's cabin, and the first thing you'll notice is that the interior is all black. There's no beige or brown combination like the regular version of the i20. You also get two colors for the seats. You get orange and black on this shade of brown which you're driving, and some other cars like silver get a shade of blue along with the dark black, and that means that this car feels a lot more premium and a lot more sporty than the regular car. Well, in terms of the ride height of the car, the suspension has been raised slightly, so that means you sit a little more higher than in the regular version of the car, and that gives you a more commanding view of the road ahead, just like a compact SUV. Well, in terms of the overall quality and ambience inside the cabin, Hyundai certainly seems to have upped their game, and the cabin really is very plush and has that trademark Hyundai feel-good factor associated with it. Well, here I am now inside the i20 Active's rear seats, and in terms of legroom, it's exactly the same as the regular car. Headroom is the same as well, and my height for reference is 5'10", and I have a good amount of place over here. On the plus side, this car gets AC vents at the back, and the transmission tunnel at the back is also very, very low, so that means whoever's going to sit here in the middle has plenty of place to stretch his feet at. And in terms of quality, it really is up there with the best. So here I am now driving the i20 Active, and this car of course comes with the same set of engines, the same petrol 1.2 and the same 1.4 litre diesel. We've got the diesel at the moment with us, and to be honest, this is the engine you should go for because it has a lot of punch and a very solid mid-range, and that along with its supremely refined nature and the high fuel efficiency makes it a better bet. And I have to say that I'm very impressed with the stiffened up suspension on this car. Now this car feels a lot more stable when you are pushing it on the highway, and unlike the regular version of the i20 which feels a little light when you are doing triple digit speeds, this one feels more reassuring and better in stability when you are on the highway for sure. Well, just like the regular i20, even the Active is a very hassle-free car to drive around town, and that's largely due to the fact that the steering is overtly light, and that along with the light clutch and slick gearbox makes it a very peaceful car around town traffic. Well, even though Hyundai have stiffened up the suspension slightly, this car still feels very comfortable when you are maneuvering it around bad quality roads, and that really goes to show you the amount of engineering Hyundai engineers have put into this car. Well, other Hyundai virtues like a punchy as well as a refined diesel motor remain, and this car is also very big in terms of fuel efficiency. Now Hyundai of course claims a figure of 21 kpl plus from this engine, and going by our experiences with most Hyundai diesels, we can vouch that this car will deliver something close to that. Well, the 6-speed gearbox on this car gives it the edge over the Toyota Etios Cross as well as the VW Cross Polo, and that is because those cars come with only a 5-speed unit. Well, the other plus point of this engine of course is the fact that it's a very, very punchy motor, and especially around that mid-range, around 2000 to 4000 rpm, there's a lot of power and a lot of torque available, and all you need to do is just slot it one gear down. So if you want that brisk acceleration maneuver, all you need to do is just slot it into maybe third gear or second gear depending on the speed, and the i20 Active really takes off. Well, generally when people consider a compact crossover, they do it for pure style and image alone, and those are two areas where the i20 Active scores top marks in. Now that, along with its rich features list, that punchy and supremely refined diesel engine, along with that trusted Hyundai brand, make this car a very, very compelling buy. So if you're in the market for the practicality of a hatchback but the road presence of an SUV, then you should seriously consider the Active i20.